Condoleezza Rice's camp declined to talk to Update News, but allowed for us to record the first 3 minutes of her presentation. Although loyal customers are sad to see this gamer lounge close down, Director of Media Relations Eric Finelli said that there are no finalized plans for a new location, but they remain hopeful that their doors will open again. I'm standing inside of San Jose Animal Care Center, where guests and staff used to have to wear isolation gowns such as this one in order to protect their dogs against canine influenza. And I'm Salvatore Maxwell. The campus community of San Jose State University was put on high alert Wednesday with a gun threat warning, following the Florida killing of 17 students earlier this month. Police weren't taking any chances. University Police Department warned students and faculty of a gun threat via text and email Wednesday afternoon. Some students found out about the threat through multiple media outlets or word of mouth.
A friend in our group chat, and he texted us saying that there's a gun threat on campus. That's the only way we found out.
This all started when someone notified University Police of graffiti that was written inside of the women's bathroom in Dudley Moorhead Hall on the 3rd floor. The graffiti read, "Shooting, 228, today, 5 p.m. Police say that they were taking the necessary precautions and had police officers patrolling outside of Dudley Moorhead.
I did not feel it was a credible threat, but we take everything that comes across our plates here very, very seriously. And so we wanted to make sure, we have 35,000 students, 5,000 faculty and staff here. We want people to be safe.
Amid the warnings of the shooting threats that were to occur at 5 p.m., some classes were canceled and others remained in session. Students inside Dudley Moorhead were worried and confused, but felt a sense of comfort from police activity.
So I was in Dudley in class, and I thought class would be canceled once I got the notification, but it wasn't because I had a midterm. But I still took my midterm, but I felt safer because I saw UPD patrolling around campus.
No shooting occurred on campus, but officers will remain on high alert throughout their patrols on campus. Kristen? San Jose State student-run media includes Spartan Daily, The Spear, and our very own Update News. San Jose State University's student journalists are asking for more funding and resources to keep student media alive. On April 25th, current and former journalism students across the nation campaigned on social media to express their support and highlight the importance of student media.
Papers across the country are losing funding because universities are choosing not to support those papers, and students can't get private donors to help. So it's important to raise awareness about what we do in these environments.
The movement was the result of Southern Methodist University's The Daily campus reverting back to depending on university funding. University of Florida's The Independent Florida Alligator editors started the online protest. Similar to the rest of the industry, student papers are having a hard time raising or making money to sustain their printing costs.
Our printing can run as high as $80,000 to $90,000 a year, and that's very typical and actually very good price when I compare it to other schools across the country.
Hendricks says he has seen revenue fall as much as 40% because of the lack of advertising and university funding. Although the newsrooms have seen major cutbacks, Hendricks says there is a lot of value in having robust student news media.
Our student media is one of the best training tools ever created, frankly. And you don't want to just say, well, then let's just cut out print and just go to a broadcast, because it's too great of a training tool.
The Spartan Daily has helped many students shape and develop their journalism craft. The Daily has and will continue to pride itself on never missing an issue since the first day of publication as a daily back in September 21st, 1934. Over 100 college student newsrooms have participated in the hashtag Save Student Newsrooms movement by showing off their staff, newsrooms, and writing an editorial on the meaning of student media.
I see it as a way of controlling what gets out there and how student journalists, or just journalists in general, do their work. They're trying to control what's being said, what's being done, and I think that goes against what news is, what journalism is.
SJSU student media used to be run by the funding of the university, but even then, Hendricks says that wasn't enough. However, he says faculty and students are doing a great job in finding advertisement and running fundraisers for student media. Live on campus, I'm Salvatore Maxwell. More than 100 students and faculty gathered in the rain Wednesday morning around the Tommy Smith and John Carlos statues, calling for stricter gun regulations. The protest started at 10 a.m. and continued for 17 minutes. Each minute was to represent the 17 victims that died on February 14th at Parkland High School in Florida. James Woolley passionately chanted to show solidarity for stricter gun laws. He says the process to acquire a gun should be regulated.
I really feel that it should be as hard to get a gun as it is to drive a car or get a driver's license, and that's just not the case. I don't feel that we need to take guns away from people. I just feel like we need to have stiffer regulations to own a gun.
While the signs that protesters carried were anti-gun, some students say there's another side that needs to be addressed.
Millions of Americans own guns, and not a whole lot of Americans are murdering each other. Ultimately, most gun owners are peaceful. They don't hurt anyone else by doing what they do.
Activism has a long-standing history here at San Jose State, most notably starting with the Tommy Smith and John Carlos protests at the 1968 Summer Olympics. However, what really causes such an impact to spark change with these protests?
The way that that these kind of movements get such traction and the way that they have such impact is because they stop following the rules, because they force everything to a halt.
According to Women's March, the organization that planned the walkout, more than 3,000 schools registered to participate. I'm Salvatore Maxwell, on campus, Update News.